I hit 35 and figured I'd throw myself a birthday party. Not a single person showed up. About a week later, my mom sent out a group invite. Turns out it was for my dad's 55th birthday. Price tag? $2,500 per person. No apology. Just a bill. So I sent her back $1 with a note that simply said, "Congratulations." Then I went ahead and changed the locks on my place and blocked every number from the family chat. 3 days later, my sister tried getting into our joint account. I shut that down too. Next thing I know, they reported me missing. Yeah, missing. Police knocked on my door. It all started when I turned 35 and wanted to do something small to mark the occasion. I wasn't asking for much, just some family, a few drinks, maybe some laughs. I rented out this cozy little lounge, grabbed a cake, and sent out invites to everyone. As the evening rolled in, I kept checking my phone. 8 p.m., nothing. 9 p.m., still nothing. By 10, it hit me. No one was coming. The bartender looked over with this half-sympathetic smile. "You all right, man?" he asked. I chuckled awkwardly. "Yeah, just running late, I guess." He gave me a nod and slid a whiskey across the bar on the house. I thanked him, cut a piece of the untouched cake, and sat there eating it alone, pretending I didn't notice the looks I was getting from other people. Around 11, I gave up, packed the cake, left a tip, and walked home. All the way back, I kept going over my messages. Did I say something wrong? Was there some joke I didn't get? A week later, I was in the middle of a Zoom meeting when my phone lit up. Group text from Mom. I opened it. "Hey family, your dad's 50th is coming up. We're doing a big night at the Lakeside Resort. It's gonna be unforgettable. Cost is $2,500 per person. Please Venmo me by Friday. Love you all." I just stared at the screen. Was this real? No mention of my birthday. No sorry for skipping the party. Just a casual demand for money. Then my sister replied, "Already sent, Mom. Can't wait. Dad's gonna love it." A few seconds later, my brother chimed in. "Same here. Looking forward to it." Something in me snapped right then. Not one happy birthday from them. No call. Not even a damn text. But now they expected me to throw down almost $2,000 for my dad's party? I thought about saying something. Instead, I opened Venmo, sent a single dollar, and typed congratulations. Then I went full disconnect, changed my locks, blocked all their numbers, and finally let myself breathe. 3 quiet days passed. I thought maybe they got the message. Then I got a fraud alert from the bank. Someone tried to access our joint account. I actually laughed. Of course. So I logged in, shut the account down, and moved the rest of the money to one that's mine alone. Minutes later, my sister called from a new number. I didn't answer. Then came the 4th night. I was about to settle in and watch a movie when there was this hard knock on the door. I checked the peephole, 2 cops. I cracked the door. "Can I help you?" The taller one cleared his throat. "We got a report of a missing person. Are you Jake Mercer?" I just blinked. "Yeah, but I'm not missing." The other officer looked down at his notepad. "Your family said they haven't heard from you and were concerned." I let out a dry laugh. "Did they mention I blocked them?" The 2 cops exchanged a look. The taller one asked, "Any reason why?" I sighed. "They've been trying to dip into my accounts. I blocked them to protect myself." He raised an eyebrow. "So you're all right? Just keeping your distance?" "Exactly," I said. "I'm not missing. I'm just done." They hesitated. "Would you consider calling them to let them know you're okay? It might help settle things." I thought about it, then shook my head. "No. If they keep pushing, I'll file a restraining order." They nodded. Looked like they were relieved this wasn't going to turn into a bigger mess. "All right," one of them said. "Let us know if it escalates." As they turned to leave, one of them paused. "Mr. Mercer, just one more thing." He looked more serious now. "If your family still can't reach you, they might take things further." I frowned. "What do you mean?" He shrugged. "People can act out when they feel shut out. If they keep calling us or try something else, just be ready." They left. I stood there for a while, frozen. This wasn't the end. It was just the start. I sat on the couch, staring at my phone. 2 more days of quiet followed. Nothing. I thought, maybe they finally got the point. But then the phone buzzed. Unknown number. Ignored it. Another one, Mom. Declined. Then Dad. Declined. Finally, a text. "How could you do this to us? Your father is devastated." I tossed the phone aside and tried to breathe. Same old guilt game. But I was done playing. Then a loud knock shattered the silence. I peeked through the peephole. It was Mom. Her face was tight, lips pressed into a straight, angry line. I cracked the door. Go home. Oh, so now you're hiding? She snapped. Your father is a mess. He thinks you've lost your mind. I'm perfectly fine, I said coldly. I've just finally stopped being your ATM. ATM, we're your family, Tim. She tried pushing the door open, but I held firm. You don't just walk away from family. I didn't walk away, I told her. I just stopped financing your lifestyle. Her eyes narrowed. So this is all about money now? After everything we've done for you? I let out a bitter laugh. Everything you've done? You mean the guilt trips? The endless pressure? The fact that not one of you could even text me on my birthday, but you had no problem asking me for almost $2,000 for Dad's party. That was different, she snapped. Your father deserves a celebration. He's done so much for you. Done so much. I asked, staring her down. Like what? Cutting me off every time I tried to share good news. Leaving me alone when I needed someone? Or maybe you mean how you never had an issue spending my money, but couldn't even pretend to give a damn about me. Watch your mouth, she snapped, her hand tightening on the door. You're not too old for me to. To what? I cut in. Guilt me? Twist things around like you always do? That stuff doesn't work anymore. Just then, a car rolled up and parked behind hers. Dad stepped out, wearing his usual mask of disappointment like it was custom-tailored. Tim, he called, voice low and heavy with phony concern. What are you doing? Why are you acting like this? I'm acting like someone who's tired of being used, I said flatly. He raised his voice. This isn't about being used. This is about family. Family means sacrifice, support. No, I said, shaking my head. Family means respect. And you never gave me that. Mom let out a sharp, bitter laugh. We've done everything for you. And this is how you repay us. Everything, I scoffed. Like having me pay for your house, your vacations, Lindsay's wedding, Caleb's college, or maybe by completely ignoring my birthday. Dad rolled his eyes. You're 30. Grow up. Yeah. I shot back. You mean grow up and keep covering your bills? Not happening. He stepped closer, voice dropping like he was laying down some sacred truth. We raised you, fed you, educated you. You owe us. I don't owe you anything, I said, my voice sharp. Not a dime. Not a second of my time. Nothing. Mom's voice cracked. You're tearing this family apart. No, I said calmly. I'm just refusing to let you tear me apart anymore. Right then, another car pulled in fast. Lindsay jumped out, storming toward us. Happy now, she shouted. Mom's been crying all morning. Dad's blood pressure is through the roof. Save the theatrics, Lindsay, I said. You guys love playing the victim every time I stop handing over what you want. You're so selfish, she spat. You always act like you're better than us. No, I told her. I just finally realized I deserve better than this. Fine, she screamed, turning back to our parents. Let's go. Let him rot. But before they reached their cars, Mom turned back. Her face was twisted with fury. One day, Tim, she snarled. You'll understand. You'll come crawling back, begging us to forgive you. I smirked. Don't hold your breath. They peeled off, tires screeching. The silence they left behind was cold, crisp, like the air after a storm. I leaned back against the door, heart pounding. Then my phone buzzed. I almost ignored it until I saw the alert. Unauthorized login attempt on your bank account. My stomach flipped. They were trying to break into my account. Seconds later, password reset request received. They were getting desperate. But what they didn't realize was the more they pushed, the harder I was ready to push back. I opened my banking app and combed through everything. Every account, every card. Locked down. Two-factor authentication on every single one. Then I went further. I called the bank. Yeah, this is Jake Mercer. I need to put a security hold on any joint accounts with my family's names attached. Mr. Mercer, the agent said, are you sure? This will restrict all their access. I'm counting on it. Next, I dialed the mortgage company. My name was still on the house my parents lived in. I'd co-signed years ago, one more favor they begged for. I wasn't even sure they were still paying it off. I need to freeze any changes to the mortgage under Jake Mercer's name, I said. Understood, sir. But that may prevent the account holder from making payments. Good. Right after I hung up, another call came in, unknown number. I let it ring. Then the messages started rolling in. Tim, what are you doing? You're going to ruin everything. Mom, you don't even know what you've started. Lindsay, I ignored every one of them. They wanted chaos? Fine. I'd show them what chaos really looked like. Then came an email from my lawyer. Short and to the point. Tim, Your family attempted to remortgage the house without your consent. They need your signature. I blocked it, but they may try again. My jaw tightened. They were trying to steal full ownership behind my back. Of course they were. Another call came in. This time, I answered. Tim. It's Dad. His voice was calm, too calm. The kind of calm that comes right before the storm hits. Say what you need to say, I told him. Why are you doing this? He asked. Freezing the mortgage? Your mother's in tears. We're your family. No, I said. I was your bank account. That's over now. This is insane, he snapped. You're hurting everyone. I'm protecting myself, I replied. I saw the remortgage request. I know exactly what you're trying to do. There was a pause, then a long sigh. We're trying to fix things, Tim. You're the one making it impossible. Fix things? Or just grab everything you can before I'm completely drained. There was nothing but silence on the other end. You're a burden, he finally muttered. I hung up. My hands were shaking, but not from fear. From anger. Rage. They really thought they could keep bleeding me dry, then toss me aside like I was nothing. Not anymore. I called my lawyer. Alan, I want to sell my share of the house. Immediately. Tim, he said, if you do that, they'll have to either buy you out or put the house on the market. Exactly. Within the hour, he had the paperwork ready. The message was loud and clear. Pay me my share, or say goodbye to the house. Not long after, another text popped up. You really want to do this, Tim? Lindsay, you're going to destroy everything. Mom's been crying all day. I typed back. I'm not destroying anything. I'm just taking back what's mine. An hour of silence. Then another message lit up my screen. Fine. You want a war? You got it. I laughed. They still thought they could intimidate me. They had no idea how much I had left in my arsenal. I opened my email and started a new draft. Subject: Financial Audit. Family Expenses. Dear Alan, I want you to prepare a complete audit of every dollar I've spent on my family in the past 6 years. Mortgage payments, personal loans, credit cards, school tuition, everything. Please list it all, item by item, with exact dates and amounts. I had sinned by being too generous for too long. Now? They wanted to know what I'd done for them? Fine. Let me show them every last cent. I was ready to show them, not with yelling or arguments, but with cold, hard numbers. I dug through every message, every screenshot, every bank statement I could find proof of their manipulation, the guilt trips, the constant pleas for money, the insults. They thought I was the weak one, that I'd cave like always. But they were about to find out what desperation really looks like. Then came another knock, loud and angry. I checked the peephole. Lindsay and my dad. Their faces were tight with rage. Tim, open this door. Dad barked, voice muffled but furious. Get off my porch. I shouted back. We need to talk. Lindsay yelled. You can't do this, she screamed. I already did. You think you can ruin us and just walk away? Dad pounded harder on the door. You think you're so smart? He shouted. Smarter than you thought, I snapped back. Now get off my property before I call the cops. Then silence. Heavy. Thick. Lindsay's voice cut through it, low and bitter. You'll see what happens next. I watched them through the window as they stomped back to their car, arguing and pointing toward my apartment. A new text popped up on my screen. This won't end well for anyone. I smiled. They had no clue what they'd started. For the first time in years, I was free. No calls. No guilt-tripping texts masked as family love. Silence. I threw myself into work, finally making progress on projects I'd been putting off. Started hitting the gym again. Reconnected with a few friends, the ones who didn't vanish when things got rough. But the silence didn't last. It began with an email from my lawyer. My share of the house had been sold, or so I thought. Turns out, it wasn't that simple. The house wasn't fully theirs to sell. It still had a massive mortgage. And since I'd co-signed on it, they couldn't do anything without my signature. Instead of asking for help, they tried to refinance it behind my back. I blocked the attempt. That left them one option: sell the house, pay off the mortgage, and pay me my share. But even that wouldn't cover everything. Even if they sold it, the money would barely pay off the mortgage, let alone what they owed me. Then came the audit. Every penny I had covered over the years. Mortgage payments, $81,000. Dad's car loan, $22,000. Lindsay's wedding, $34,000. Caleb's college tuition, $45,000. Emergency family expenses, $62,000. Total, $244,000. Nearly $250,000. And that didn't even include what I lost trying to make them happy. I sent the audit to our old family group chat with one line. I want it all. Every cent. That's when things exploded. First, a call from Dad. "You've lost your mind," he growled. "We're your family. You stopped being family the moment you turned me into an ATM," I said. "Where do you expect us to get that kind of money? Figure it out. Sell the house. Sell the cars. I don't care. You owe me. You're going to destroy us, Tim." "No," I said. "I'm just taking back what's mine." Next came Lindsay's text. "You're so selfish." Mom's sobbing. "Dad looks like he's dying. Are you proud of yourself? Pay up, Lindsay. Or don't. Either way, I'm done." Then Mom called. Her voice was breaking. "Tim, please. We don't have $244,000. We can't just give it to you. Then start selling things," I said. "Or maybe get jobs. We raised you. We gave you everything." "No," I replied. "I paid for everything. Now it's your turn." Days passed. Then weeks. My lawyer kept me in the loop. They listed the house for a quick sale, but the market was slow, and the price wasn't high enough to cover both the mortgage and my cut. So they started liquidating. Dad's SUV? Gone. Mom's sedan? Sold. Even Lindsay's car, the one I helped her buy? Out the door. But it still wasn't enough. Instead of facing the truth, they started calling relatives, asking for loans. And of course, they painted themselves as the victims. Jake betrayed us. Jake is ruining our lives. Some relatives refused to get involved. A few handed over small sums out of pity. Still not enough. Then, finally, another call from Dad. His voice was cracked, broken, barely recognizable. "Tim, we sold the house. The cars. We even pawned your mother's jewelry." He paused. "And we still don't have enough." "Then keep selling," I said. "I want every cent." Silence. Then a laugh, dry and hollow. "You know you're killing us, right?" "No," I replied. "You killed yourselves the day you decided I was nothing but a bank account." 2 days later, the money hit my account. $244,000. Every last cent. I stared at the number. Satisfaction hit first, but it was cold. Quiet. I'd won. But what exactly had I won? Then, a text from Lindsay. "You destroyed everything." Mom's in tears. Dad won't speak. "We have nothing. Are you happy now?" "Yes." But they still weren't finished. One more message from Mom. "Tim, we need to talk. You can't just abandon your family like this." I didn't abandon anyone. I took back what's mine. Family isn't about money, Tim. No, but it was for you. And now it's not. I blocked her. Blocked Dad. Blocked Lindsay. Then I opened the family group chat, scrolled all the way to the top, and hit Leave Group. For a moment, everything felt still. Twisted, but peaceful. Real silence. But not for them. My lawyer sent one last update. They'd been evicted. Couldn't pay rent. Couldn't qualify for a loan. They were homeless. Shattered. The same family that once leaned on me for everything, now left with nothing. And me? I didn't feel guilt. I didn't feel pity. I felt free. For the first time in years, I was just me. The days slowed down. Evenings were quiet. My phone didn't buzz anymore. My thoughts stopped racing. I wasn't bracing for the next crisis. I was just living. I hadn't been to a bowling alley in years. But when a few coworkers asked me to go that night, I said yes without a second thought. Life had finally gotten quiet. No desperate calls. No guilt trips. Just peace. "Tim, you're up," someone called out across the lanes. I stood, grabbed the ball, smooth, solid, familiar in my hand. The neon lights rippled across the polished wood as I stepped forward, lined up, and took a breath. Then I rolled. Strike. "Damn, Mercer, you're a natural," a coworker laughed, giving me a hearty slap on the back. I smiled. Really smiled. But then I saw him. 2 lanes down. Hunched over. Hair graying. Struggling to line up a shot. The ball slipped from his hand and swerved straight into the gutter. He rubbed his face with both hands, and for a second, he just stood there smaller than I remembered. But I knew him instantly. My chest tightened. It was my father. I thought about walking out, pretending I hadn't seen him. But then he looked up, and our eyes locked. Shock. Shame. And something else. Regret. He paused, then started walking toward me. His steps were slow. Unsteady. "Tim," he said quietly. "Didn't think I'd see you here." "I didn't think you'd want to," I replied. He glanced at the empty lane beside his. "Would you play around?" I could have said no. Part of me wanted to. But I didn't. I just nodded. We played without saying much. My strikes, his misses. Each roll of the ball felt like a reminder of the space that had opened up between us, not just tonight, but over a lifetime. Everything's gone, you know, he finally muttered. The house. The cars. Your mom's living with Lindsay now. We lost it all. I know, I said. I thought we'd be okay. I really believed you'd always be there. Because you used me. He swallowed hard. I did, he said, voice cracking. And I'm sorry. I failed you. I failed all of us. A bitter laugh slipped out of me. You think an apology fixes any of that? No, he said quietly. But I needed to say it. I need you to know. I was never strong. Not like you. I just pretended. I hid behind you. His words hit harder than I expected. They felt honest. Honest in a way he'd never been before. I spent years just trying to be good enough for you, I said, staring down the lane. But to you, I was never more than a bank account. I know, he whispered. And I hated it. I was jealous. My own son, doing better than me. And instead of being proud, I tried to take everything you had. Anger flared up in me again, the kind that came from old wounds. But then I looked at him. Really looked. He wasn't the towering figure I remembered from my childhood. He was just a man. Worn down. Tired. Beaten by the consequences of his choices. Why are you telling me this now? I asked. He looked me in the eyes. Because I've got nothing left to hide behind. And because I'm proud of you, Tim. I always should have been. The noise of pins crashing echoed behind us. But between us, it was still. I stepped back up to the lane and rolled again. Another strike. The thunder of falling pins felt like something breaking loose inside me, something I didn't need to carry anymore. I'm not coming back, I said quietly as I walked back toward him. I know. He hesitated, then reached out a hand. It shook, faintly. For a long moment, I just looked at it. Then I reached out and shook it. His grip was weak, but it was real. I turned toward the exit. The neon lights flickered on the floor beneath me. The sounds of the alley fading with every step. I didn't look back. Outside, the night air was crisp. The city moved around me, buzzing, living. I took a deep breath and let it fill me. And for the first time in my life, I wasn't angry. I wasn't bitter. I wasn't tied to anyone else's expectations. I was just free. Thanks for sticking around and listening to my story.